The Persian Empire celebrates its greatness during a massive royal festival lasting months. King Xerxes displays his power and wealth to the leaders of the empire. During a drunken feast, the king commands Queen Vashti to appear before the guests so they can admire her beauty. She refuses. The king becomes furious, and his advisors warned that Vashti's disobedience could inspire rebellion among women across the empire. A royal decree is issued. Vashti is removed as queen forever. The throne of Persia is now empty. Wind howled across the ancient stones of Jerusalem. Ashes drifted through the air like ghostly snow. Where once the temple of God stood in shining glory, there were now broken pillars, shattered walls, and scorched earth. Babylonian soldiers marched through the ruins, their armor clanking like thunder in the silence. Families wept as they were forced away from their homeland. Among the captives were priests, craftsmen, young men, and frightened children. They looked back at Jerusalem one last time. A mother clutched her child. "Remember this land," she whispered through tears. "This is where our God dwells." The child nodded, though he did not fully understand. The captives were taken far away to the mighty empire of Babylon. Years passed. Empires rose and fell. Babylon itself was conquered by a new power, Cyrus the Great, ruler of the vast Persian Empire. Some Jews were allowed to return home, but many remained scattered across the empire. They lived as strangers in foreign lands, waiting, hoping, trusting. Among them was a young Jewish girl whose destiny would change the course of history. Her name was Esther. In the Jewish community of Susa lives a young orphan named Esther, raised by her cousin Mordecai. Across the empire, the king orders a search for beautiful young women to become the new queen. Esther is taken to the royal palace along with many others. Mordecai tells her to hide her Jewish identity. In the palace, Esther gains the favor of Haggai, the keeper of the royal women. The long preparation begins for the women who will meet the king. After a year of beauty preparations, the women are presented to the king one by one. When Esther enters the king's chamber, her grace and character immediately captivate him. King Xerxes chooses Esther above all the others. She becomes queen of Persia. Meanwhile, Mordecai overhears a conspiracy by palace guards to assassinate the king. He reports it through Esther, saving the king's life. The act is recorded in the royal chronicles. But Mordecai receives no reward, yet Haman is promoted to the highest position in the kingdom, second only to the king. The king commands everyone to bow before him. Everyone obeys, except Mordecai. Furious, Haman learns that Mordecai is a Jew. Instead of punishing only Mordecai, Haman decides to destroy all Jewish people in the empire. He casts lots to choose the day of their destruction. The chosen day falls months away. Haman manipulates the king into signing a decree ordering the annihilation of the Jews. The decree spreads across the empire. Fear and mourning fill the Jewish communities. When Mordecai hears the decree, he tears his clothes in grief. He sends a
My queen,
message
Mordecai
to
sends
Queen
grave
Esther.
news. A decree
She
threatens our
must
people.
go to the
What?
king
This cannot
and
be.
beg for mercy. But approaching the king without invitation is punishable by death. Esther hesitates. Mordecai sends her a powerful message. Who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Esther gathers courage. She calls the Jewish people to
Lord, give me
fast
courage for
and
what I
pray
must do.
for 3
Strengthen
days.
love from
Then
people.
she prepares to approach the king. That same night, the king cannot sleep. He orders the royal chronicles to be read. They discover the story of Mordecai saving the king from assassination. The king asks, "What honor was given to Mordecai?" None. At that moment, Haman arrives to request Mordecai's execution. Instead, the king asks Haman how to honor someone the king wishes to reward. Thinking the honor is for himself, Haman describes a grand celebration. The king then commands Haman, "Do this for Mordecai." Humiliated, Haman must parade Mordecai through the city. At the second banquet, Esther reveals the truth. She exposes
magnificent
Haman's
feast, my
plot
queen.
to destroy
I am honored
her
by your
people.
presence.
Indeed.
May
The
it please you all.
king is furious. Haman begs for his life. The king orders Haman to be executed on the gallows he built for Mordecai.
Mordecai, for your
is
loyalty, I
promoted
promote you to high
Haman's
authority.
position.
My king, I am honored.
A new decree allows the Jewish people to defend themselves. They are saved from destruction. The Jews defeat their enemies across the empire. Peace returns. Mordecai and Esther establish a new festival to remember their deliverance. It becomes the Jewish celebration of Purim. The series ends with Esther and Mordecai watching the people celebrate, knowing that courage, faith, and divine providence changed history.